this is going to be a matchup that is a rematch.
Mm.
Sean O'Malley versus Marlon Vera. Sean O'Malley, Sugar Sean, 17-1, or 18-0 if you ask him. He is 4-0-1 his last five. He is coming off of that KO victory over Aljamain Sterling for the championship, fighting against Marlon Chito Vera, 23-8-1, 4-1 in his last five. He's coming off of that decision win over Pedro Munhoz. And as we look for the odds on this fight right now, has some pretty crazy line movements. So minus 220 opened up for Sean O'Malley, and he has since been bet to minus 300. So I think everyone's on the sugar train this time. Alex, what do you think about this main event rematch for the championship between O'Malley and Vera here?
Um, so I think Sean O'Malley is like a very great counterpuncher. I think we saw that in his last fight against Aljo. Aljo kind of uh entered kind of a little bit sloppy, and Sean O'Malley made him pay. And one pop and he was knocked out. Then in the Petr Yan fight, I thought, as I mentioned earlier in the video, I thought he lost that fight. But I will say that, his striking was clean. He was landing some pretty heavy shots on Petr Yan, and he even cut him open. And I think in that fight, what I really liked was that, yes, he was getting taken down, but he was getting back up. And uh, I think for most fighters, that that was a very exhausting fight, for any bantamweight to kind of go through what Sean O'Malley did. But for him to come into that third round and still look fairly fresh, I thought that was really impressive, actually. And so, Sean, he's never been in a 5-round fight. And so obviously that cardio is going to, come into question. But I did like what I saw from that Petr Yan fight, how he was able to still look fairly dangerous, even after being chain wrestled and held down by Petr Yan. Uh, but I am a little bit cautious about this fight just because, first, he's never been in a 5-round fight. Marlon Vera, Marlon Vera just never wears any damage, right? In his career, he's never been knocked out, nor has he been submitted. And so, you know, I, I'm going to assume that this fight is going to, make it into the championship rounds. Um, and what I will say from that first fight between Marlon and Sugar Sean was that Sean was having a lot of success with those leg kicks, calf kicks. And yeah, I mean, if that fight would have gone on longer, was Marlon Vera going to be compromised, on his feet? Like, I don't know. Tough to tell. Um, so yeah, and like, Marlon Vera also has insane cardio himself. Like, he's not going to slow down. And it's interesting because Marlon Vera also he's notorious for starting out very slow. Like, he always loses the first round. And obviously, Sugar Sean is like a counterpuncher. He kind of wants the opponent to move forward. So it'll be interesting. I think, Sean will probably win the first 2 rounds. And then, 3, 4, and 5 are kind of a bit up in the air. Oh, actually curious, what are the round props for this?
Yeah, I'm
Oh, it's four
thinking
and a
the same
half.
thing.
Yeah, see.
Exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean they think it's gonna go the distance. And
Yep.
so yeah, like 3, 4, 5, man, that could get like dicey. Um, so I don't know. I don't know what to say about this fight. I kind of feel like the value side is for on Chito Vera,
Hmm.
but yeah, that's what I'll say.
Yeah. I mean, minus 300, kind of wide. Let's just look at what did he close at in the first fight between Marlon Vera? Let me see. He closed at minus 250. So they don't think much
Mm,
has changed, I guess, since
yeah.
that last fight. And he opened up minus 220 this time. So I guess they thought that maybe a little bit better odds, but I mean, people were still hammering. Yeah, I mean, O'Malley, man, just a high level kickboxer, in my opinion. Just uses that length and height really well. He's a really good use of feints. It's kind of like Izzy, right? There's a lot of like fakes and like those kind of things. Long straights have KO danger. I mean, we just saw this guy KOs people pretty well. Switch stances as well. Uses good footwork. Can circle off the cage pretty well as well. I mean, I think his accuracy is outstanding, like 61% striking accuracy. He has spinning attacks as well. I mean, front kicks, we're able to work in the kicks, leg kicks. Elusive on the feet. I think that he has really good movement, keeps the range, and bides his time pretty well. He's actually a pretty patient striker. But even though he's patient, I mean, this guy still has pretty high volume, like 7.25 strikes land per minute as a counter striker. Insane. That's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's actually really good at striking, man. You know, Vera is a dangerous finisher, right? Starts really slow in his fights. He does make solid reads on his opponents off those slow starts, but I mean, he has counters, powerful KO shots. I think he has great striking kind of defense if you just factor in that durability and that chin. Like you mentioned, this guy has never looked damaged in any of his fights, even if he gets his ass beat. Like it looks like
Yeah.
I've never seen him bleed, never seen a cut from him
Ever.
anywhere. So he wears damage pretty well. He can be a bit low volume, just waiting for that KO shot. I mean, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. We saw it worked out pretty well in that Dominic Cruz win, right? I think Dominic Cruz was doing really well in the scorecards, but Cheeto just found that KO shot eventually. And in that last fight with Corey Sandhagen, though, it didn't work out that well for him because, again, he was getting just outpointed by Sandhagen, also out grapple at times. I mean, so yeah, I think for me, I'm siding with O'Malley here. Obviously minus 300, so he's the favorite. But I think in that first fight, to me at least, Sean just seemed to be on his way to just outworking Cheeto for 3 rounds. He's gonna lose that first round, in my opinion. I think that this 5 round format will actually help Sean out. I know that Cheeto is also really good in 5 round fights, but I think that Sean will be able to just outwork Cheeto for 5 rounds. I do think he has underrated cardio. We just haven't seen it yet. Um, this guy's one of those guys that smokes like weed every day, and like Fluffy Hernandez. I mean, like just somehow they have incredible cardio from doing something that damages their lungs every day. So I don't know how that happens. He just has some kind of genetic gift. I just don't believe that Vera is a good enough striker to beat Sean over the course of 5 rounds. He'll be dangerous, I think, but I just don't think that he'll be good enough as far as technique to actually outpoint this guy. So yeah, Sean just be too elusive for him. I think this fight could look like Vera's lost to Sandhagen, except just no like takedowns from Sean, right? Because I mean Corey was working in those takedowns as well, just kind of winning rounds that way. But I think that I just think Sean is a better striker than Vera. I think that's where it's gonna probably play out. So pick here is Sean O'Malley via decision. Um, minus 300 is a little wide in my opinion for a parlay piece. So maybe at the end of the week I'll decide what I want to do with that. But one prop and one kind of play that I really like is fight goes the distance minus 135. I think that's incredible value. I mean, opened up at plus 190 and now it's minus 135. So I can't believe it opened up at plus 190. That's crazy. I think that this fight's going the distance for sure. That over 4.5 round line is also pretty decent. I mean, minus 160, not as much value in my opinion, but I think minus 135 on Bovada, also one of our affiliate links, by the way, minus 135 is pretty good value. So hopefully that's something that we could potentially attack later on in the week. But yeah, I think Sean O'Malley via decision, but I'll probably look at play props for this fight specifically. That about does it for the UFC 299 breakdown for Pure Picks. Alex, do you have anything else you want to add before we hop off for the night?
No, man, just, check out purepicks.gg. Consider signing up, becoming a member. But yeah, beyond that, really looking forward to this pay-per-view event, and I think it'll be a big night for us. So I'm looking forward to bouncing back.
Definitely, definitely. Miami, Florida. That's where the event's going to be, 6 p.m. Eastern. That's when it's going to start. So, yeah, definitely, guys, tune in. Check out our website, purepicks.gg, for some gigalogs, some plays that we have throughout the week. And really, guys, just best of luck. I can tell you personally that we're pretty damn hungry this week to try to bounce back from that last week. So let's get it all, guys. Let's get it all. Best of luck, everybody. We'll see you guys soon.